Welcome to our deep dive into the fascinating history of the Templar Order. For nearly 2 centuries, the Templars played a crucial role in the medieval world. Their influence extended from the battlefields of the Holy Land to the corridors of European power. But who were these warrior monks, and why do they continue to captivate our imagination today? In this video, we'll explore the origins, rise, and enduring legacy of the Templar Order. We'll uncover their formation amidst the fervor of the Crusades, examine their meteoric rise to power, and delve into the controversies and myths that led to the dramatic downfall. By the end, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of the Templars' impact on history and their relevance in modern culture. Let's start with an overview of the Templar Order's formation and early history, setting the stage for further exploration of their rise, influence, legacy, and dramatic downfall in subsequent sections of the subject video. Formation of the Templar Order. Our journey begins in the late 11th century, during the time of the First Crusade. The Christian world was in turmoil, and the call to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim control resonated throughout Europe. Amidst this fervent backdrop, a spiritual and knightly order founded in the Holy Land in 1119. It happened when a small group of knights, Gottfried de Saint-Omer, André de Montbarts, Gundamar, Godfrey, Gourel, Geoffrey Bertol, Navard de Montdésir, and Archambault de Saint-Aenanled, led by Hugues de Payens, took a solemn vow to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to Jerusalem. At the time, traveling the roads of the Holy Land was dangerous, with murderers and bandits roaming the areas. The knights who had participated in the First Crusade had completed their mission and returned home, leaving the pilgrims vulnerable. With the support of Baldwin II, King of Jerusalem, they established their headquarters on the Temple Mount, giving rise to their name, the Poor Fellow Soldiers of Christ and the Temple of Solomon, or simply, the Templars. Their cause quickly gained momentum, attracting the attention of influential figures, including Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, a powerful advocate who recognized the potential of a disciplined and pious military order. Through his support, the Templars received official recognition from the Catholic Church at the Council of Troyes in 1129. The Templars were so poor that they shared one horse between 2 people. In memory of this, a seal with a horse carrying 2 riders was created by the order later. The Templar brothers did not take monastic vows, but they led a monastic-like life. They declared the desire to live a life of chastity, obedience, and without possessions. They committed themselves to service under the leadership of the Lord Patriarch, following the example of religious canons. Initially, the Templars did not have their own set of rules. They followed the regulations of the Order of Saint Augustine, the Blessed. This endorsement legitimized their mission and paved the way for their rapid expansion. The Templars were granted significant privileges, such as exemption from local laws and taxes, answering only to the Pope himself. Their primary mission was clear: to defend the Holy Land and protect Christian pilgrims. However, their objectives soon expanded beyond mere military endeavors. Next, we'll look more closely at how the Templar Order gained recognition and support. Growth and expansion. As the Templar Order gained recognition and support, their numbers swelled. Recruitment became a crucial component of their expansion. Knights from noble families across Europe were drawn to the Templars, driven by a mix of piety, adventure, and the promise of spiritual salvation. Each new recruit underwent rigorous training, honing their combat skills and deepening their spiritual commitment. King Baldwin II of Jerusalem supported the order and in 1120 allocated a place for their headquarters in the southeastern wing of the temple in Jerusalem. The temple became the residence of the master of the order. Because of this, the knights were given the name, Templars. Under the instigation of King Baldwin, Hugo de Payens traveled to Pope Honorius II to request permission for a second crusade. This was necessary due to the excesses of the Muslims on the territory of the Kingdom of Jerusalem. Hugo and several other knights traveled throughout Europe, gathering troops and donations for the order. In 1128, at a great church council in Troyes, France, the Templars were officially recognized and given their own charter, which was written by Abbot Bernard of Clairvaux and later known as the Latin Charter. With the growing ranks, the Templars established commanderies, fortified bases that served as both military outposts and economic hubs. These commanderies spread across Europe and the Holy Land, creating a vast network that supported their operations. The Templars' strategic positioning allowed them to protect key routes and provide safe havens for pilgrims. Beyond their military endeavors, the Templars became formidable financiers. They developed innovative financial operations, including an early form of banking. Pilgrims and nobles entrusted their wealth to the Templars, who issued letters of credit that could be redeemed at any commandery. This system not only safeguarded money but also facilitated trade and travel. The charter of the Templar Order eventually expanded to several hundred rules. These rules regulated all aspects of the knights' lives, including clothing, food, and social restrictions. Attention was paid to vows of poverty, celibacy, and obedience. The Templars were forbidden to kiss even their mother and sister, and violators of the rules were subjected to various punishments, such as spanking, the prohibition to wear a knight's mantle, or expulsion from the order. At the same cathedral, the knights were ordered to wear white and black clothes with a red cross embroidered on them, and they also received a prototype of the first battle banner, Boscian. Their fighting spirit was recorded in the new charter of the order. The soldiers of Christ were not afraid of committing sins by killing enemies or of danger threatening their lives. After all, killing someone for Christ's sake or wishing to accept death for his sake is not only free from sin, but it is also commendable and worthy. After official recognition, the order, with the support of the Church, quickly turned into a serious military and political organization. The Templars began receiving large donations, both monetary and in the form of property. For example, they received possessions in England, France, Germany, Greece, Bohemia, Flanders, Italy, Ireland, Austria, Hungary, Poland, and the Kingdom of Jerusalem. The Templars had the right to travel across borders without paying taxes or duties. They also had their own clergy, and were under the authority of His Holiness, the Pope, and could not be excommunicated by the Church. All tithes collected for the Church's needs remained in the order's treasury. The Templars' wealth and influence grew exponentially, enabling them to fund large-scale military campaigns. They participated in several key battles during the Crusades, including the Siege of Ascalon and the Battle of Montgessard. Their prowess on the battlefield earned them a reputation as elite warriors dedicated to defending the Holy Land. Next, we'll look more closely at the core beliefs and practices that defined the Templars' way of life. Templar Practices. At the heart of the Templar Order was a deep sense of religious and spiritual commitment. The Templars followed a strict code of conduct, rooted in their vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. These vows were taken seriously, as members sought to live lives of piety and discipline. Their daily lives were marked by rigorous routines. Templars spent their days in prayer, training, and fulfilling the duties. Their lifestyle was austere, with simple clothing and communal living. Despite their wealth, individual Templars adhered to a vow of poverty, sharing resources and focusing on their mission. Central to their identity were the symbols and regalia that distinguished them. The iconic red cross on a white mantle became synonymous with the Templars. This symbol represented their willingness to shed blood in defense of the Christian faith. Their armor and weaponry were also distinctive, combining practicality with symbolic elements that reflected their sacred mission. The Templars' spiritual beliefs were deeply intertwined with their military role. They saw themselves as warrior monks, fighting not only for the protection of pilgrims but also for the broader cause of Christendom. This dual identity as both soldiers and religious devotees set them apart from other medieval orders. The order had a well-developed financial system. The treasury managers of the order introduced a scheme for ordinary and travelers' checks. When people went on a trip, they could not take gold and jewelry with them. Instead, they handed them over to the order's treasury and received a check, a small leather piece, signed by the chief treasury manager and their own fingerprints. At the same time, the order collected a small fee from the traveler. They also provided knights with loans at 10% interest, essentially acting as a bank. Twice a year, the treasury summarized the balance sheet and conducted accounting. Under Louis XIX, even the French treasury was moved to the residence of the order, the Temple Castle. With its vast wealth, the Templars supported artists, musicians, poets, and engaged in charitable work in the fields of geodesy, cartography, mathematics, physics, construction, and navigation. The order had its own shipyards and ports, as well as well-equipped ships that even had magnetic compasses. They were actively engaged in cargo transportation and transported pilgrims from Europe to the Kingdom of Jerusalem. All this brought a good income. The order was also involved in the construction of roads, bridges, and churches. Within 100 years, they built about 80 cathedrals and 70 churches in Europe. In the subsequent section we'll explore how the Templar Order had reached the zenith of its power and influence. Peak of power. By the 13th century, the Templar Order had reached the zenith of its power and influence. Their strategic alliances with monarchs and nobles across Europe strengthened the political clout. Kings and rulers sought the Templars' counsel and military support, making them key players in the political landscape of the time. The Templars' contributions to the Crusades were substantial. They were instrumental in key battles and fortified key positions, including the iconic strongholds of Crac des Chevaliers and the Castle of Saft. Their military prowess and disciplined approach made them invaluable in the ongoing efforts to secure the Holy Land. Beyond the battlefield, the Templars played a significant role in medieval society. They were not only warriors but also administrators and financiers. Their commanderies became centers of economic activity, contributing to the local economies and providing services such as banking and safe passage for travelers. The Templars' architectural legacy is still evident today. They built impressive fortresses and churches that combined military functionality with religious symbolism. Their structures, characterized by their robust construction and strategic locations, served as enduring monuments to their influence and capabilities. Next, we will explore how the Templars dealt with increasing tensions with both secular and religious authorities, leading to the eventual dissolution of the order. The fall of the Templars. During times of famine, the Templars helped those in need, earning the gratitude and favor of the common people. However, most of the order's treasury still went to the ongoing wars with Muslims in the Holy Land. The Templars gained fame as fearless warriors, and the French monarch, Louis VII, praised the help of the Knights during the Second Crusade. Nevertheless, there were monarchs who did not entirely trust the Templars. As a result, in 1228, Frederick II Barbarossa signed a peace treaty with the Saracens, transferring Jerusalem to Christians under its terms. Since the city was surrounded by Muslim territories, it found itself in a difficult situation, and this did not please the Grand Master of the Order. Even though Barbarossa had left the Holy Land after the conflict with the Templars, it was not possible to cancel the treaty. King Louis IX of France terminated the agreement with the Sultan of Damascus, further worsening the situation. The Muslim army, now unrestrained, began to attack Christians, winning one victory after another. Jerusalem had to surrender after a long siege and battle. The Knights suffered heavy losses. In the spring of 1291, the Grand Master died in the Battle of Acre, the last stronghold of the Crusaders in Palestine. The Templars suffered great losses. The remaining knights tried to escape in a tower, but the Saracens dug under it and the tower collapsed, killing both knights and Saracens. The Holy Kingdom fell. After the loss of Jerusalem, which was the main purpose of the Order's existence, the protection of the Holy Land, the Church took advantage. The Knights of the Order were accused of heresy, and the fall of Jerusalem was blamed on them. The French king, Philip IV the Fair, did not like the unique position of the Order. He did not want the Templars interfering in the affairs of his kingdom. In addition, he owed a large sum of money to the Order. Philip planned to take over as Grand Master of the Order and have control over its treasury. To do so, he sent a petition to Jacques de Molay, the Grand Master, asking to be knighted. However, Jacques, being a wise man, refused the request. Then Philip decided to contribute to the downfall of the Order. Soon, an opportunity presented itself. A former Templar who had been expelled from the Order for murder was imprisoned. He accused his fellow knights of committing sins against the faith. King Philip seized on this opportunity. He demanded that the Pope withdraw all privileges from the Order. At the same time, the king issued a decree to arrest the Templars. According to the decree, all their property was transferred to the royal treasury. On October 13, 1307, all Templars who had not had time to hide were arrested and questioned by the Inquisition. They were charged with heresy, apostasy from Christ, and sodomy. Many knights confessed under torture. The Pope issued a papal bull, authorizing the arrests and seizures of Templar property throughout Europe in favor of the royal treasury and church. In 1310, 54 knights were brought to the stake near the monastery of Saint Anthony near Paris for refusing to give previously given testimony under torture. The Pope issued a bull on April 5, 1312 abolishing the order. In 1314, Jacques de Molay, the Grand Master of the Order, was sentenced along with several other people to prison for having previously admitted to the charges under torture. However, Jacques de Molay and Geoffrey de Charnay, the Prior of Normandy, declared that they preferred death to prison and were burned on the same day. The world died with the Templars, chivalry and the Crusades ended with them, said Charles William Heckerthorne in reference to the aftermath of the downfall of the Knights Templar. The trials were marked by forced confessions extracted under torture. Despite their efforts to defend themselves, many Templars were executed, and the order's assets were seized. In 1312, under pressure from King Philip, Pope Clement V formally disbanded the Templar Order. In the next section, we will explore the legacy and myths that have continued to surround the Templar Order throughout the years. Legacy and myths. Though the Templar Order was officially disbanded, its legacy endured. The ideals and practices of the Templars influenced subsequent military orders, such as the Knights Hospitaller and the Teutonic Knights. These orders adopted many of the Templars' organizational and operational methods. The cultural impact of the Templars is profound. They have been romanticized in literature and media, often depicted as guardians of secret knowledge or treasure. From the writings of Sir Walter Scott to modern films and novels, the Templars have captured the popular imagination. Myths and conspiracy theories surrounding the Templars have persisted for centuries. Stories of hidden treasures, secret rituals, and connections to other secret societies abound. While many of these tales lack historical evidence, they continue to intrigue and inspire. Modern archaeological findings and historical research have shed new light on the Templars' activities and influence. Excavations of Templar sites and scholarly studies have provided a more nuanced understanding of their role in history, separating fact from fiction. And now, let's look at the modern-day Templar organizations, which are not direct descendants of the medieval Knights Templar, but aim to continue their spirit and mission. Modern-day Templar orders. Although the original Templar order was disbanded in the 14th century, its legacy has endured and evolved. In recent times, various organizations have sought to revive Templar traditions and values. These modern-day Templar orders, while not direct continuations of the medieval Templars, aim to honor their spirit and mission. Contemporary Templar orders often focus on charitable work, community service, and the promotion of historical research. For example, the Sovereign Military Order of the Temple of Jerusalem, established in the 19th century, engages in humanitarian efforts and supports interfaith dialogue. Similarly, other groups emphasize historical preservation and education about the medieval Templars. Public perception of these modern Templar orders varies. Some view them with respect and admiration for the charitable contributions and commitment to preserving history. Others regard them with skepticism, questioning the authenticity of their connections to the original Templars. Regardless, these organizations continue to draw interest and participation from individuals inspired by the Templars' storied past. The historical significance of the Templars today lies in their enduring legacy of bravery, faith, and service. They remain a symbol of the complex interplay between religion, warfare, and society during the medieval period. Their story continues to be a source of fascination and inspiration, reminding us of the enduring impact of history on the present. Summary. As we conclude our journey through the history of the Templar Order, let's reflect on the key points we've covered. From their formation in the wake of the First Crusade, the Templars rose to become a powerful and influential force in medieval society. Their commitment to protecting pilgrims and defending the Holy Land, combined with their innovative financial practices, cemented their place in history. Despite the dramatic fall, the Templars' legacy has endured. They have influenced subsequent military orders, inspired countless myths and legends, and left an indelible mark on culture and history. Modern-day Templar organizations continue to honor their spirit, contributing to society through charitable works and historical preservation. The story of the Templar Order is a testament to the enduring power of faith, bravery, and the human spirit. Their legacy reminds us of the complex and often tumultuous interplay between religion, power, and society. As we continue to explore their history and myths, we gain a deeper understanding of the forces that have shaped our world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of the Templar Order. We hope you found this exploration as fascinating and enlightening as we did. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others who might be interested in the incredible story of the Templars. See you in the next time.